Her great love, it's great love, it's great love proclaiming everyone coming to entreat you. I'm talking to all humanity about it. Even if you don't believe it. Let's talk about the great love of all mankind. If you can't talk about his love. Shalom, I am Rabbi Shaul Praver. You're watching Rabbi Rock. We had such a great time speaking with Cantor Deborah Katchko-Gray in our first segment that we decided to invite her back for another segment to hear about her world of music, to hear about all the wonderful things that she came to share with us. Once again, we invite Cantor Katchko back to the studio. I see you brought your guitar this time.
I did. My cousins, who I didn't know were my cousins, were listening in their car, and my cousin Isabel picks up the CD. They liked this Etodim, and they looked at the name. Katchko. Wonder if she's related. They didn't even own a computer. My cousin Leopold was an Orthodox cantor he has been an Orthodox cantor for 55 years in Beverly Hills. Didn't socialize with any of the conservative cantors or the reform cantors, and if he had ever mentioned the name Katchko, we would have found each other many years ago. But he just was in his own world, and even within the Orthodox world, he really kept to himself. He's an amazing cantor. He just does his own thing, doesn't really get involved in anything.
He's a Holocaust survivor?
Oh, yeah. An amazing story. So they asked their nephew to look on the internet, and they Googled me, and they found me, and I got this email, which I'd like to read.
Yeah.
Cantor Deborah Katchko. My name is Cantor Leopold Schneer, and I would be interested to know if your father or grandfather was a chazan at Rambach Synagogue in Budapest before World War II. His name was Aaron. There were 3 brothers, and they were all first cousins to my father. I would very much like to know if this is part of your family. Sincerely, Leopold. I got this on March 15th, 2005. And I could not call this man fast enough because, first of all, when I grew up, my father didn't know he had aunts or uncles. My grandfather had 2 brothers who were cantors, one in Czechoslovakia, one in Budapest. My grandfather also sang in Budapest for a while, and 3 sisters. And through the classes of Elie Wiesel, I researched the family tree, and I found out there were 22 singers or cantors in the family. Most perished in the Holocaust. So when I graduated college, there was no question that I had to continue this family tradition. And I was always extremely curious about my grandfather's 2 brothers, Joseph and Gershon. They were cantors. Why weren't they rescued? Why weren't they brought over like Adolf was? He was a child prodigy, so maybe they saved him, but he must have felt so awful and guilty that he was saved and not his brothers and sisters that he never mentioned them. But he did write a piece of music, Achenu Kol Beis Yisrael, it's a prayer, and he composed that, and it's a very plaintive, pleading kind of prayer, and you can tell that he's praying for his brothers and sisters that were left back in Europe. But when I found out that Leopold knew Gershon and Joseph, it brought them back to life.
Achenu Kol Beis Yisrael, our brethren, all of the children of Israel, over in the seas, on the other side of the seas, wherever they are found.
Rescue them, help them, bring them to safety.
Yeah. So he alighted upon those words.
Right. And yet, my father passed away in 1997, never knew that they even existed. And in college, I found out that they existed, but I never thought I would meet anyone who knew them while they were living. And Leopold has pictures of the family in Europe before the Holocaust. And that we'll show later on that PowerPoint that my husband put together. But he actually showed us pictures, Gershon, Joseph, the grandmothers who were sisters, that's how they were related.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable that Leopold brought it all to life for me.
Wow. Wow. Now you had a reunion with him. You flew out there.
We did. We met him fairly recently. We were there in January, and it was just a most magical time. And my husband brought recording equipment and recorded us singing together, which we can play later with the pictures. It was just amazing. The man has a glorious spirit, the most beautiful voice. He had a horrific experience in the Holocaust, spent most of it in hiding. He was in and out of a labor camp, some concentration camp, a lot of hiding, a lot of help from the resistance. He had an awful time, and to this day his health is affected from those experiences. But his spirit is amazing, and his wife is beautiful and lovely, and they were both part of Kinder Transport. They have amazing stories to tell, but he's very well known in the survivor community of LA. And when he does a service or sings, they all come out to hear him because he sings with his heart and soul, still from Europe, and he sings the way they remember growing up. He's just something magical.
Did he live? Where was he captured?
He was in Munich.
Okay.
And then he spent much of the war in Belgium.
I see.
And Brussels also.
Yeah. You brought in a video of Cantor Adolf Katchko. I'd really like to hear that now. Now that's a traditional cantor.
Oh yeah.
Now
yeah.
The role of the cantor and the music has changed a little bit today, particularly in a reform setting.
It is. We have to try and blend the two. I mean, there are moments where you have to, I believe you have to keep them both. You have to keep them both alive. You know, there's innovation and there's tradition, and that's probably the age-old, blend of life. We have to have one foot in the past and one foot in the future.
Beautiful.
So that magnificent traditional sound, people can enjoy a bit of it, but they've also been raised on other kinds of music, and so modern composers, like my wonderful friend Benji Ellen Schiller, have written things that are very prayerful and full of heart and soul and contemporary, but can take an ancient text and bring that to life in a new way. So
different setting.
In a different kind of setting. So this song, "May You Live to See Your World Fulfilled," is something that I sing at every bar bat mitzvah, but I'm also going to be singing it in Ireland to 300 beautiful children who have honored the memory of Elie Wiesel's youngest sister, Tzipora. It's called the Kildare Tzipora Children's Music Festival.
Wow.
And they have it every year. It's their 5th year. And it's the first year that they wanted to put in some Jewish music. And so through Elie Wiesel's former assistant, Martha Hauptman, I was asked to give them some Jewish music. So I sent them some wonderful songs for children and some CDs, and they liked it, and they said, you know what, we'd like you to come too. And I said, wow, I would love to come. And I would love to sing this to them.